All right, so I want to walk you through some of the basic features of Google Classroom so that you have a general idea of what you can do with the classroom once you have set it up. So you're looking at an already established Google Classroom. So this isn't a new class that I've just created. It's one that I've got that has been working for the last 6 months or so. So in my stream, your stream functions as like a Facebook or any other kind of social media where you have a news feed of events, but this is a news feed of the assignments and the material that you have posted for your students. Okay. Looking at the screen, we have a banner up at the top. You can make changes to that. You can upload a photo to go here, but that's just a basic, however you want it to your theme to look type of feature. We have the class name, we have the class code, and then on the left-hand side of our stream here, items that are due in the next couple of days will be listed on the left-hand screen. Now, the same feature will also be seen on the student view. So when a student opens up their classroom stream or classroom feed, on the left-hand side, it will show things that they have coming up. If you are to click View All, it's got all of, as a teacher, your assignments that you have posted over the last, however long your classroom has been established. So I'm going to go back. Also, too, you can access assignments directly by clicking on the link, and it will take you directly to that assignment as it's been given to the students. Okay. So as you can see, it's listed here chronologically with the most recent posting up at the top, but you can actually make changes to that. So let's say, for example, because this is an assignment that is due this Friday, and I want it to, or May 4th, I want it to be posted up at the top or pinned up at the top. So I can move it up to the top if I'd like here. Okay, so that's the only feature I'm going to talk about right now in terms of your stream and the assignments that are listed. Let's look next at classwork. So when I click on the classwork tab as a teacher, you will see your option to create different assignments or material or post different announcements for your students. On the left-hand side, you have a list of topics, and topics are helpful because if you want them to focus on a certain thing, like for example, I have mine broken down by the unit names and also other things like the closure weeks when videos that I post for the kids, maybe something that they can do for fun that's outside of normal unit activity, things like that. So topics are really helpful to keep your work organized. You have your class drive folder, and if you click on that, it's going to take you to Drive and your folder for that specific class with each of the assignments listed. And then your Google Calendar will take you to your calendar. Now, if you're a student, you're not going to see all of the things for every single class. You won't see every event for every class. You'll only see the one that you are assigned to for that class. So for example, my first period class will only see this event. They won't see the event for period 3 and period 5. And I'm going to get into all of this stuff later. Okay. When you click on the People tab, from the People tab, you can see all of your students. The Invite Guardians, I don't ever really use because it's just too many people to have onto your school, onto your Google Classroom. It's better to just stick with having your actual students on here, not their parents. If there's a student that you need to delete, I don't know if I have any that are on here. If you have a student that you need to delete, like they won't automatically be deleted from your Google Classroom if they leave your class for any reason. So it's your responsibility to get rid of them. So if you click on the box next to their name and click action, you can remove them or mute them so that they can't make comments on your, assignments. Okay. And then your grades. So your grade tab has all of your assignments that you've got. Okay, even the ones that don't have due dates, if you've listed it as an assignment, then it will show up here. Okay, and then if you've already graded an assignment, so I feel like I graded a couple, but they're not on here yet. Oh yeah, so like this student got 100 out of 100, 90 out of 100. So that would be listed here. If they're missing that assignment, it's just an easy way to see what work has been turned in and what has not been turned in. Okay, and then from here, you can access again those specific assignments. Okay, if you click on the three dots, you can take this, like I don't need to have this listed, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it from here. Okay, if I need to make a change to something that an assignment that I may have given, I can click on it and edit, and I can make a change to it if I need to. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and X out of here because I don't need to do that right now. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to show you was your settings feature. So if you go to the gear in the top right-hand corner of your window, here's where you can make those changes that maybe you didn't make when you first set up the class. You can add a description, a room number, what the subject is, things like that. You have your class code here, and you can display it. You can make a copy of it so you can paste it in an email. You can reset it if you want to change that code, or if you disable it, then kids won't be able to access and add your Google Classroom. Okay. For your stream, when you click on this, it gives permissions to certain people. I have mine set so that only I can post or make comments, because that avoids the tendency for some students to make comments that don't have anything to do with the topic at hand. If that's something that doesn't really bother you, then you can click on students can only comment. Let me change it back. The first one there, students can post and comment. I wouldn't suggest using that because you don't want students posting things on your stream. Classwork on the stream. So this is how the classwork is viewed. I like to have the full assignment details and attachments right there. If you show the condensed version, then you won't have all that information. It will just list what the name of the assignment is, and then no notifications for that. Okay. Showing deleted items, if you want to have the things that you've taken off, you can have that shown in your stream, but it doesn't really make sense because it just makes the stream more crowded. Guardian summaries I've never really used before, so I'm not really going to speak to it. If that's something that you want to practice, then I suggest that you do. We're going to talk about Google Meets later, so I'm going to sort of skip over that for right now. And then finally, grading. And full disclosure, this whole thing is new to me, this grading section. Upon first glance, it looks like you can add the same kind of weights that you would in School Loop, but whether or not that weighting transfers into your School Loop as well, I'm not totally sure, so I'm not going to speak too much about it. I'm just going to show you where it is, and then if that's something that you want to sort of play around with and see if that works for you, then I suggest that you do. Okay, so those are the basic features of Google Classroom, just sort of a walkthrough of what those features are and kind of a brief description. I'm going to talk about a couple of them in depth, the ones that you'll probably use the most. All the other ones, I just suggest that you sort of play around with yourself and see if there's something that you find useful, or just kind of ignore it if it's not something that you need at this time.